Hello everyone, welcome back to Anchored. We are so excited to have you joining us, whether you're here in person or watching online. This episode is being sponsored by Easter Pup Creations, a Catholic company that has its focus on the Rosary, and the story behind the Catholic company is beautiful. Head to their website for more, and we're gonna be right back in just a moment with our guest, and I'm sure you're gonna love her. Stay with us. And thank you all so much again for joining with us here on Anchored. I'm joined with a lovely friend and sister in Christ, Katie Linendoll. Katie, thank you for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me. So excited for you. You're perfect for the show, and I'm just thrilled for you.
Thank you, and you're perfect to be a guest. So I'm so excited. Also, I just wanted to say the Easter Pup Creations, he's a good friend of mine, John. We have never met in person yet, just through Instagram, but he used to be a Marine. And he had a dog with him, during his time, one of the military dogs, or however you want to best describe it. And he had these come to Jesus moments, and these moments of, the post-traumatic stress of being in war and having the dog and having Our Lady walk with him. That's where all that, because he came back to the church in Easter time, the pup, his dog, and the Rosary, and he creates these. So all of the story is kind of strung throughout in his lines. And I know that you do so much with canine, donations and promotions and how you support these dogs. And then also I know you love Our Lady. So I'm like, I want to get this promotion of Easter Pup Creations to be with your episode. So that's a little bit of the background with that.
This is so on my radar now because yes, I love canines. That's my favorite thing in what I get to do is my philanthropic work, and supporting canines and retired canines is a huge part of that. That's and of course our military, coming from a very proud military family. Yeah. So you've blended all my favorite worlds. And the Rosary, I think I pretty much always try to have my Rosary on me. Oh, our mutual friend made this, so I got my Rosary on me. So amazing. You did a great job.
Good.
Now
I'm so
I have
glad.
homework to do. Easter Pup Creations.
Yes, and everyone today is going to get a giveaway from John. He was super generous, so you'll be sure to get a little gift from him.
Amazing.
So, yes.
I love it.
Yeah, same here. But
starting
now,
with fire.
Oh, of course, starting with Our Lady in prayer, but you're the star of the show tonight, so we need to talk about you. So can you introduce yourself to those who are watching both in person and online?
Well, he is always the star, but a blessing to be here. And, my world, I love life. I try to do as much as possible. I wish there was like 45 hours in a day. And I just try to take advantage of every moment. And I started in technology when I was about 12 years old, coding. And at a time where tech was not cool at all. And I just found this love of this digital world, if you will. And I went on to get my degree in IT. Wonderful. And then I work as a consumer technology expert in television now, fast forward many years. And it's a blessing to work with some of the biggest outlets for over 20 years now, from Rachel Ray to the Weather Channel, Today's Show, Sports Illustrated, ESPN. I have had an amazing career. It has been a huge blessing. And who would have thought, I thought I would be coding behind a screen and sweatpants on an Excel spreadsheet the rest of my life. I'd be happy doing that. I had to teach myself how to be a self-taught extrovert. And it's been a fascinating journey. But then in the past 3 years too, I have taken on one of my side project passion hobbies of singing, which I've been doing my dad's a drummer. So I grew up very musically inclined. And when the pandemic hit, I run a production company in my media world. And we used to be on the road 300 days a year. Wow. I mean, I was forgetting where light switches were in my apartment. It was crazy. But when the pandemic hit, I was like, all right, I'm going to take some of this time that I'm not in a plane and make it, I want to go into a direction and make it more positive, right? Where do we do with all this extra time? And I went into the music space and in the country music scene. And again, just like God being so giving, have been hitting the charts on the country music scene, and excited to play a song for you today. But it is so fun because it also combines kind of my worlds of technology and my love of music, and they kind of intertwined in a way, if you will.
Amazing. And Katie, I know you to be a lifelong Catholic and your faith being important, but as within these 20 years, of course, people are coming to know you more and more over these years, and your time is being stretched and pulled, and your speaking engagements or whatever it may be are becoming more numerous, and you're getting booked more often. So how has your faith life changed or remained the same as your career life has maybe changed along the way?
My biggest things are, and it's so funny because I'm working on a country song right now, and it's called F Words, but it's Faith, Family, Flag, because we like puns in the country music space.
I love it.
I am anchored by faith, family, and flag, and it has kept me incredibly grounded. And when it comes to my prayer life and my church life, I say if he has time for us, we have to make time for him. And there is like no excuses. If we can be scrolling on our phones on the IG for hours a day, I try to minimize it myself personally. We have time for him. And as we've talked about before, like for me, we all have our like non-negotiables. I'm a rosary girl. I'm a chaplain of St. Michael girl. I love my church life and especially traveling. I think that's the easiest time to make the excuse and to say, you know what, I can't get to Mass this week. I have seen churches all over the world, many times not even in the language that I know, but you show up and you're present. And that's been a really cool thing to experience churches from the Faroe Islands to Costa Rica to Malaysia and have that experience and to know, yeah, I got an hour. I don't have an hour, but I got an hour. So it's been critical and it's kept me very, very grounded, especially in a very intense media world. It's easy to get wrapped up in the things of the world, but we're not of this world. And it's kept me very centered.
Good, thank God. And even to, like, you know, the life I live, the jobs I have, and, you know, for those who are here in person and also watching at home, we do come up with these excuses of, well, my life is so busy. Well, I just worked a 10-hour workday, or I just did an overnight shift. You know, you also live a beautiful, fruitful, busy life, but where do you, like, for those who are like, I don't have time, where can we make time? And where maybe have you made time, whether it's waking up a little earlier or taking your lunch break to go and pray? How have you fit that into your schedule?
I think, honestly, I think we all can make it work. You have to find the way. I'm all about obedience and I'm all about structure. And you can find, I think like the rosary is a perfect example. There's always going to be that 15 minutes in a day. Find a way to insert it. And I know I have like shiny button squirrel syndrome. I'm like, oh, next. Very hyperactive, very self-aware. And, you know, sometimes we lose focus when we're praying. And that's okay. Come back. It's better to start it and to get it all, come back. You can always come back when you're going through your beads. And we can get distracted by the world, but we always can find the time and we can always keep that central point. And I always say, like, I heard this line a few weeks ago, actually, and it's like, you are what you look at and what you're surrounded by. And if we are, you know, I was out on a trip for work for quite a few days, and I came back, and I was so happy to be back. If you find a parish that you love, and we both love our parish, oh my goodness, it can be so powerful. And I came back and I went to Mass and I was tired and I was like, oh, I'm so happy to be here. Because when you find that place that is so welcoming and you're part of that community, it can work wonders for you. 100%. And you look around and you see that goodness and you're surrounded by your family and you're surrounded by your friends that are genuinely good-hearted people. Surround yourself with that. You are what you look at and you are going to be what you surround yourself with. So surround yourself with goodness and keep anchored.
It's true. Thanks for keep throwing that title in there.
I know.
Anchored.
I feel like it's
love
like the
it.
theme of the day. I always have these like themes coming in my life, and I feel like this anchored theme is like a new theme.
Thank God. And even too, this is just like a side note. The seat you're sitting in is from St. Mary's. So even a piece of home, because that's what it is. Like, we need things to ground us, to anchor us, but even places in prayer can be home for us. Like wherever you go, whatever church you go to, hopefully that feeling of home, like obviously Jesus is always there in the tabernacle, but to have him always grounding you and returning back to him in the beginning and end of your day, even during it and like the middle of the day as well, is super important and life-giving as well.
Yes.
So what about Katie? You have met so many people, I bet, all throughout your journey, all throughout your life, maybe even just this year.
Yes.
What are those experiences like when you go to, you know, Rachel Ray going on that show or meeting a new live studio audience, whatever it is? How do you, who are the people that you've met so far? How have you incorporated the faith? What is that like? That's
one of my favorite parts of my career is working in the media space. I get to do a lot of interviews. So from CEOs to astronauts to celebrities to athletes, I have met so many amazing people. And they're always like, I like to listen. So it's like actually makes me feel hot being on the other side of like being interviewed. But I love to listen and see what comes from it. And you just hear some really profound things in these interviews. And I'd have to say, in the past few months, I've had some takeaway themes with some really amazing people. And I'll give you two, if that'd be okay.
Go for it.
So I was in Medjugorje. I finally made a pilgrimage to Medjugorje over the summer. And I actually became friends with one of the visionary's sons. And his name is Joseph Velez. He actually runs an amazing pilgrimage company over in Medjugorje. And he was telling me the story, and then this stood out so much in my mind because it's about being proactive. He was telling me a story about how his friend was stuck in the airport and his flight got canceled, and he called him. He said, "Hey, what's up? What are you going to do?" And he goes, "Well, I'm just going to leave it to God." And he's like, "No, you're actually going to open the laptop too and rebook the flight."
Yeah.
And he said, it was a perfect metaphor for, we have to be active participants.
Exactly.
We can leave it to God, but we also have to do the work. And I think that's critically important because we can sit back and, as my one friend would say, randomly wait for things to happen. We have to be proactive. And I think that is key.
Yes.
And then quickly, the last one, I was just coming off a big tech event and I was speaking on a stage in front of thousands of people. And one of the keynote speakers said something very profound. I wrote it down. Hold on. I was going to write it on a CVS receipt, but then I upgraded it to a little bit of a note card.
That's great.
Shola Richards, he is a keynote speaker, and he blew my mind by this statement. He said, in every interaction, we're giving life or we're draining it. There is no neutral exchange. And I thought, we as Christians, in every interaction, whether it's with housekeeping, whether it's at the coffee shop, we are either giving life or we're draining it. It's a positive experience or it's a negative experience. And we have to come to the table bringing joy. And I'm all about joy, and I'm all about making it a positive experience. So I thought that was really impactful.
Beautiful. Oh, it's so nice to see how many people the Lord allows us to encounter, to meet, to be around.
Yes.
And we can't miss these opportunities. And it sounds like you're hitting the nail right on the head of seeing people, being with people, and really being intentional with your time and their time.
And also being present. I think we always have to just put the phone down. Be present, be there. I think that's hugely important.
And that's coming from a tech girl, so that says something. Put your phone down. Katie, do you have any last little bits of maybe advice of how we can slow down, stay grounded in the faith? Anything you want to share with us?
You know, I think it's finding ways, things that you really enjoy, whether it is stepping up and doing a novena to a saint that you really love, whether it's going to adoration. I'm seeing a lot more people just interested in adoration. Quiet. Just step in there, volunteer for an hour a week. It can make profound impact. And if you're on the road, use Mass Times. It's a great app. You can always find a church nearby. And like, no excuses. I was in Florida recently and a hurricane hit. I was like going through, I looked like an idiot running through this hurricane to get to that Mass. And it was but you're like, I feel like I got some extra points for that one. You know, there's always time, and just find things that make your faith grow and stay the course.
Yes.
It's always easy to take off road, stay the course. It's never going to be easy. We are in a difficult, challenging, we're following the apostolic truth, and it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So
exactly.
Stay the course.
Yes. Well, Katie, you're such an inspiration, and it's so nice hearing more about your story. But at this point, we are going to go to a commercial break, but make sure you stay with us because Katie and Brandon Fitz are actually going to play one of Katie's original songs. So we'll be with you in just a minute. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for staying with us. Again, a huge thank you to Katie Linendoll for being here, and also for Brandon Fitz for stepping onto the stage. So please introduce yourself.
Cool. My name is Brandon Fitz, friend of Katie's, friend of Monet's, and I'm excited to be here. Thanks
and
for
a musical savant.
No, you're great. He plays all the music at St. Mary's in Dedham for the Life Teen Mass and so many other gifts, including photography. So Brandon, thanks for sharing your gifts here tonight.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. So again, as Katie said, we are going to hear one of her songs, Jericho Battle Cry. Can you explain a little bit of the inspiration of this song?
So I was inspired by this. This was like a Holy Spirit. Like these lyrics, I love the songwriting process. It's probably my favorite part of the musical journey. And it was really pulled from Ephesians and also the Battle of Jericho, hence the name Jericho Battle Cry. And it can also just be so relatable to like our modern situations and any battle that you're going through. It's an amp up song. It's a pump up song. And I've had so many people in so many just different spheres of life just get behind it. So it's been cool.
Amazing. And we're going to hear that song right here, right now.
Wait. Can we show her my little mini me?
Oh, yeah.
Come on up, girls.
All right.
Look at this. Okay, so when I play music, I take my glasses off because I feel super nerdy. Look at the amazing. You guys are the cutest audience members ever, and I love your glasses. Thank you for being here. And she opened us up with a prayer, by the way.
Yes. Anna, we're so excited for you to hear Jericho Battle Cry with you and your sister.
Next time you will do a backup dance.
Yeah, next time. Good job. Good job.
She wants to stay. You just kick her off, Mommy?
All right, we can bring her back. We can bring her back at the end. But
Good job.
I'm actually going to kick myself off because I don't have these musical talents that these two do. So take it away.
When you feel outnumbered, you might come to discover you got something on your side. God in the day, it may come as a cloud or a pillar of fire, or it may be a lightning bolt enlightening the way. 7 times on the 7th, this is a battle. The earth is gonna shake, a nation rattle. Fear knows no place here. Hear the battle cry. There ain't no hesitation, 'cause we're fighting for this nation. And we're lions, not lambs, roaring out loud. 7 times on the 7th, this is a battle. The earth is gonna shake, a nation rattle. Fear knows no place here. Hear the battle cry. So come as you are with your weapons of faith. Put on the armor of God, get on your knees and pray. Suit up and sound up and look to the sky and hear the battle cry. 7 times on the 7th, this is a battle. The earth is gonna shake, a nation rattle. Fear knows no place here. Hear the battle cry.
On now.
It's the most stripped down version we've ever done.
That was amazing. The two of you did a wonderful job. Thank you. And hopefully all of you in the audience loved that, right? Wasn't that great? Woo! So, most importantly, how can people stay up to date on all the technology work you're doing, the musical work you're doing, the new song releases? Where can people find you?
Thank you. I'm all over social at Katie Linendoll, and I think a big important part that I didn't share earlier was every one of my songs supports a very small boutique philanthropic endeavor focused on veterans or canines. So every time you're listening to a song, it is supporting. So thank you guys for being here. There's an amazing live studio audience. When do you get this? And thank you. I love you so much.
Of course. No, I love you too. Thank you for
Thank you,
making time.
Brandon.
Yeah, thank you guys. This is awesome.
No, it was. And hopefully we'll have you both on again very soon. And I just want to thank you all so much again for joining us here today on Anchored. We hope you can join us again for our next episode. God bless you all. For our live studio audience, again, we do have a giveaway from Easter Pup Creations for all of you at the end, and a meet and greet with Katie Linendoll and Brandon Fitz, of course. So God bless you. Remain anchored in hope, and we will see you next time.